There you go. Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Classic.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Classic.
Yeah. It's the best daytime live show on all streaming platforms. It's the Classic Codes. You know I gotta come to the ring, man.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you who I'm made different.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't in pretty. I only keep the people around that still don't tear with me. And if they start to stand on nine, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. In the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation. They be make-a-wishing me. I got these hoes in the face. They can't seem to get to me. Babe, I done master discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes. Yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize. You can't find another me. Let's get focused. Want the fruit.
Let's get focused. Yo, it's Classic with the Classic Codes, and I got another great live show for y'all.
Classic.
Yes, Lord. I see the chat in here early. What up? What up, chat? What up, chat? We got a full slate, but before we get into it, make sure everybody do their duties. Exit out of the chat real quick. Hit the like button and come on back into the chat. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications if you've done those things. Let somebody else know about the Classic Codes who you feel like may want to have some conversation, whether they agree or disagree, because we got to crack these codes.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
But like I said, we got a full show for y'all today. I'm here bright and early, get y'all through the last little bit of your work shift or get you on the way to work, get you home from work, whatever part of your day you on, I'm here for you. I got it. You know, I got that service. Make sure that y'all interact with me. And, you know, I'm going to stand on it every day. I'm ready to go one on nobody. But, you know, God didn't make it that way. Instead, God blessed me with the best chat on all streaming platforms.
Classic.
Chat 333. It's not a game. It's not a game. Leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. All right. So look, we got a reaction video. We have a TikTok reaction. We got a question of the day, and we have a code language conversation. And if the chat is active, then we'll go into some Q&A as well. So like I said, we got a full slate of things to get to. We're going to be starting off heading over to TikTok to look at some footage, right? So 3-division undisputed champion of the world, Terrence Crawford, just recently had a parade to celebrate his victory over Saul Canelo Alvarez, becoming the undisputed champion at 168 pounds after being undisputed at 147 pounds and also being undisputed at 140 pounds. So Terrence Crawford is... honestly, I think he has taken over as the greatest fighter of all time, in my opinion. My opinion cannot be wrong. Neither can yours. But with his victory over Canelo Alvarez and accomplishing that feat, I believe he is the greatest male fighter of all time. He's only the second boxer to be undisputed in 3 weight divisions in the 4-belt era. The other boxer is a woman by the name of Clarissa the Goat Shields.
Classic.
All right, so Terrence Crawford is truly a legend. Just had a parade to celebrate his victory in his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. And on his birthday, his 38th birthday, this is what happens to him in the great land of America. America. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens to the champ of the world in his hometown on his birthday, right after a parade where he was awarded the key to the city. This is what happens, okay? So in the words of Jay-Z, who I don't need to quote often, but in the words of Jay-Z, still nigga, okay? Never forget. Let's go.
Stepping out, seatbelt.
That is the officer's firearm that you see there. He does. That is not his flashlight. That is his firearm. Let us continue.
He told to step out.
I'm
opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Step out. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stepping out.
Terrence Crawford said, "Are you serious? This is not that deep. Are you serious?" He said, "Yeah, I'm serious." This is the champ of the world. On his birthday, which I believe was yesterday, pulled over by law enforcement for what they say was reckless driving. And law enforcement drew their weapon on the man, aiming it directly into his face, forcing him to get out of the vehicle and, you know, doing a search and all types of different things. Terrence Crawford, I believe, was with his security and maybe some of his family. Not sure who all exactly was in the vehicle with him. However, they did have a firearm in the vehicle with him that was registered to his security that was in the vehicle with him. So, you know, the paperwork was good on the firearm. It was legal, which no harm, no foul. Having to be subjected to a firearm pointed directly inside of your face like that, you know, within less than a ruler length away from your face, less than 12 inches away from your face, you know, for what could have been a routine traffic stop, you know, is beyond me. Again, it's one of those jobs where you can't really have bad apples, right? Can't really afford to have any bad apples at a job like this because it could cost people their lives. I mean, listen, if he would have moved wrong, if the officer's temperament wasn't all the way lined up properly, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, this could have gone really, really bad, you know, for all the wrong reasons. And so I'm grateful that nobody got hurt. I'm grateful that Bud is okay. Shout out to Souls of Thought in the building. What up, bro? Chat filing. The chat is filing in. I'm glad to see you made it safe, brother, on your journey. Yup. But yeah, I mean, being subject to this, you know, there's even a part in the video. I don't know if you guys can hear the audio very well, but Bud says it's like that, and he said, yeah, it's like that. You know what I mean? So the officer is clearly, you know, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. Everything that's being discussed here today, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. But this officer is clearly on bullshit.
Classic.
I think it's safe to say that this officer is clearly on bullshit, right? He's dealing with some type of a complex. Maybe he isn't the man of his house, you know? And so he goes out into his duty and overcompensates every day. Maybe he was bullied in high school and, you know, it ain't no fun when the rabbits got the gun, right? We don't know what's wrong with this man, but clearly he didn't rap too tight. Hey, man, I was actually considering going to Omaha for the parade. But, you know, if this is how their law enforcement is moving, you know, I'm grateful that I did.
I'm only going to do this once.
And that's no knock on Omaha. That's no knock on Nebraska. Terrence Crawford has really built it up to where, you know, it's a place that I do want to visit. You know what I mean? At some point in time. But it's just like, it's unfortunate to see on a weekend in the city that is very much his. You know, he's got the key to the city presented to him twice. Terrence Crawford has. So Omaha is his city. You know, they say that he is the professional sports team. He's brought plenty of money and revenue to the city of Omaha. You know, for him to be treated this way, it just lets you know that this copper color tone that you got in this part of the world, it's been made to matter in the way of how certain individuals will deal with you. And so you just have to be mindful of that. Now, you know, never mind. I'm not going to get off into a discussion about the laws of nature in, you know, my interactions with law enforcement. But I will say that I'm just grateful that everybody's okay, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, man, just giving y'all an update. Terrence Bud Crawford was held at firearm point by law enforcement in Omaha, Nebraska on his birthday yesterday. Just, you know, shortly after the big parade that they had to celebrate his victory over Canelo Alvarez. So, you know, for the people out there that think celebrity puts them above something, or for the people out there that feel like it can't be them, keep your situational awareness up.
Classic.
All right. Let's see. What we talking about next? What up, chat? Tristan, what up, dog? What up, T? The whole gang in here. All right, so we're gonna get off into the reaction video talking about the villain era. All right, so this is the title of the video. We're gonna lean into this subject for a little while, and then we'll move on to the question of the day. But for right now, we're gonna tap in on the villain era and really dive into this conversation. This is something that I've actually been brainstorming over, mulling over, thinking about, you know, for the last couple of days. They wanted to humble him accordingly. Yeah, you know what's going on. You know what's going on, souls. You from it. You from the South. You heard stories. You might not have been you, but you know somebody that knows somebody that been through something. Villain era, all right? So this sister is going to be speaking about the vibrational frequency of people who are in their villain era. I'm going to actually speak to what the villain era is if this video doesn't break it down, because again, I like to do authentic reactions. I have not watched this all the way through. So we'll do a reaction to it together. If there's things I disagree with her about or things I want to add, of course, I'll stop and join in. But y'all tap into chat. Y'all know I'll get to all y'all comments as well. But we're going to be discussing the villain era today at length. So let's go. Buckle up. Let's go.
Villain. People that vibrate the highest are comfortably in their villain era. People that vibrate the highest energetically are comfortably in their villain era. So what do I mean when I use the phrase villain era? We're not talking about a bad guy in a movie. We're talking about you, your villain era. It means that you don't mind being the villain in someone else's story if that means that you are standing firm on what you believe in. So that's like you, for example. You are in your villain era. Why? Because you don't care anymore. And when I say you don't care, it's not that you don't care about people, because you have many people in your life that you care about. But there's certain things that you don't care about anymore. Like when
so far she cooking. Let's go.
People judge you, you don't care about that anymore. When people drag your name through the dirt, you don't care about that anymore. When people don't support you when support is due, you don't care about that anymore. Because you know the right people who believe in you will support you. You don't care about certain things anymore. It is below your feet. It is behind you. It is not anywhere in your vision. You just don't care anymore. Because you're at a place in your life where you know exactly who you are. You're standing 10 toes down on that. And there's certain things that you just don't care about anymore.
Okay, so before she go into the rest of that, I want to discuss what she's talking about, right? This lack of caring. There is duality involved with the villain era, right? So right now it seems like she's discussing the execution of it, or the why behind why somebody would be in said villain era, right? But some of the fallout, right? High overview, and then we'll dive into these as this video goes on. But high overview of some of the fallout that you could deal with when going through a villain era. Number one would be a risk of isolation, right? For some people, that's a tough thing, depending on who you are and your preferences as a person. We don't all have the same personality types, but that's one. Ego inflation is a potential fallout of a villain era. Misinterpretation, being misinterpreted, that is a potential fallout or a side effect of having a villain era. Emotional hardening is also a potential fallout, and potential regret is also a fallout. Okay, so those are 5 things that you may experience on the cons side of going through this villain era. It seems like she's going to talk about a lot of what you're going to gain first, and I just wanted to add that in as we go. Let's get it.
Because if you have to be the villain in someone else's story for you to stand up for the things that you believe in, you'll do it. I mean, there's something that we should all understand.
Chat, y'all crazy. Miles said, "Is that liquid paper nail polish?" What you all? Soul said, "I've been in that era since 2008. Dang. Now you know, Souls. We gonna come back to that, dog. We gonna come back to that. Now you know, bruh. Come on, let's go."
The majority of people are afraid to step into their villain era.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's what separates a lot of people from their ability to actually achieve greatness or not. But we'll get into it. Let's see what she say.
They are so scared. They don't want to be the bad guy in anybody's story. They are too busy people pleasing. They are too busy wearing themselves thin for everyone and everything. They're just too busy being everywhere with everybody. They don't want to be a villain. So, in essence, they're scared to be who they really are. They're scared to use their voice. They're scared to stand up for what they really believe in because they don't want to be the villain. So they rather just hide behind the mask of being the people pleaser. Classic. So they never have to be the villain. But that's not you. Because you, my friend, you have woken up. And you know that being in your villain era means that you are standing up for what you truly believe in. You see people that vibrate the highest energetically, they're happy, they're fulfilled, they're magnetic, and they're abundant. They know that they are in their villain era. They know that because they're so authentic, they're so unique, they're so different, they're so 1%. They're so on top of who they are and what they're doing that it's automatically gonna bring hate. Because where there's love, there's hate. They know that. They're aware of it. That level of awareness, they're at that level of awareness where they know that some people's not gonna like them. They know that they are fully in their villain. They are fully in their villain era. There's gonna be some people who don't like them when they are finally being their authentic selves. They know that, and they're okay with that. I want you to take a second and think of the most highly vibrational, the most energetically highly vibrational person that comes to your mind right now. I just want you to stop and think about them for a second. And I'm sure at some point in that person's life, they were villainized. You cannot get to a place of notoriety, knowledge. You can't get to a seriously highly vibrational point where you're magnetic, abundant, fulfilled, and extremely happy and not have haters and not have people look at you like a villain and not have people try to tear you down. Because this, my friend, is just human nature. This is how human beings are. For some reason, when they see a highly vibrational, happy, magnetic and fulfilled human being, some people, a lot of people are going to want to tear that person down. That is just what comes with the territory.
I'm only gonna do this once.
You know who I'm thinking of right now? Jesus Christ. This man literally just came here to spread the good news. And what did humans think was a good idea to do to him? Nail him to the cross. It's just an analogy. But when you are highly vibrational, at some point in time, all that fulfillment and happiness and magnetism, you're going to become a villain in somebody's story.
I'm only gonna do
and
this
you
once.
are going to have to be okay with that. And it's really not that you want to be the bad guy. It's really not that you want to frustrate and irritate people. But when you step into the awareness of who you truly are, you're not even going to be thinking about the people who think that you're villains.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, she keeps reiterating that you're gonna have to be okay with it. I think that's what stops a lot of people from going into that space. I think it's what stops a lot of people from actually speaking up for themselves when they should, from towing the lines that they claim that they're drawing, right? Like, what's the point of setting a boundary if you're not gonna toe the line? If you draw a line and you're not going to toe the line, then there is no line. There's no boundary. Somebody could just step across your line. There's no repercussion, right? So a lot of people have hard time setting boundaries because of how they're going to feel after they have to be a little blunt with somebody, how they're going to feel after they have to be really direct with somebody, how they're going to feel after they have to be a bit of an asshole to somebody. A lot of people don't step into that era and benefit themselves the most because they don't want to feel like they, again, were the bad guy, or like they were hurtful, or, you know, rub somebody the wrong way. I told y'all since I started content creation, I'm not going to come on this platform to make y'all comfortable every day. I told y'all that when I started. You know what I mean? So anybody who hit subscribe, you know what it was.
Classic.
You know what I mean? So, shit. It is what it is. You signed up. Miles Bachelor said, is that liquid paper nail polish? Tristan T said, shit, call me the Joker. I hear that, T. I hear that, bro.
Classic.
Let me see. Miles Bachelor said mid-apocalypse for a minute. Mid-apocalypse for a minute. What you mean, Miles? Joe Jet said 333. What up, my boy? Tristan said, that's a fact, though. Everybody strives to be the hero and passive. Why? She said it. She said it in the video. WWJD, what would Jesus do? She said it. She told you why. Tristan, she told you why most people passive. Jesus was passive. Uncle Plug said, but that's debatable too. I've heard people debate that. It's a good debate too. But in my opinion, I'm on the passive side. Uncle Plug TV said, I've been the villain in my family for the longest. Them MFers dodged me with the BS at all costs. Yeah, one thing about being a villain, one of the pros, and I'm going to talk about the pros because I already discussed 5 cons. I'm going to talk about the pros of being the villain as well, Uncle Plug. I got you. But I feel you, though. The black sheep is oftentimes made out to be a villain. Souls of Thought said, I've always said villains are authentic and heroes lie. Facts. I agree with that. That's a hard quote.
Classic.
You need to put that on some merch. That's like good for a hoodie or something. Tristan said, y'all. He said, y'all, I need that code on a shirt or something. Which code, T? Which code you need on the shirt? Miles Baxter said, right. The level of fear outweighs the courage. I agree. Uncle Plug said, Soul's most definitely a villain. That's why I fucks with him. Hey, you gravitate to your kind, man.
Classic.
It's tribal. Uncle Plug said, classic, most definitely a villain. You think so, Plug? I thought they thought I was nice, Plug.
Only gonna do this once.
I thought they thought I was nice, Plug. You know me. Hey, Plug. Hey, this me, Plug.
Here.
Thank you.
That's me, Plug. That's me, dog. I'm chilling, brother. Miles Bassett said apocalypse, meaning my environment hasn't been stable for years. Sheesh. Hey, you gotta be a villain when it's like that, Miles. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta be ready to stand up in the paint when it's like
Classic.
that. You gotta be a dog living in that instability. Let's see what the rest she gotta say. She got a couple more minutes. Let's go.
They're nowhere in your vision and reality because you're too busy focused on raising your vibration. You're too busy on just being a better person. You're too busy on making more money. You're too busy on focusing on expanding your awareness. You're too busy loving on the people who's loving on you. So these people who think that you're villains, like, okay, you're too busy loving on you to even worry about people who think that you're a villain. So when you say you're in your villain era, it's just a play on words. You're not really here to be a villain. But when you use that phrase, you just mean that you are authentically being the person that God designed you to be. And whoever don't like it, well,
fuck them.
Sounds like a them problem to you.
No, fuck them.
My name is Gabriella Yana.
What up?
And if you have found anything in this video to be helpful, please follow me.
Y'all heard the plug. I'm gonna let her get her whole shit off too. Y'all know I support content creators. Y'all listen to her. That's Gabrielle Yana. Let's go back a little bit. Let her get her.
If you have found anything in this video to be helpful, please follow me. At any given point in time, I'm reading 3 books, right? So leaders are always readers, right? This is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm reading this again for like the 5th time because I'm thinking and I want to get rich, okay? So leaders are always readers, okay? If you are looking for books that can raise your vibration, elevate your awareness, expand your mindset, and change your life, click on the link in my bio and buy your first book. I want you to get back into reading books.
This her right here, chat. I am Gabriella Yana.
Also, I have things that I'm working on that I can't talk about yet, but I'm excited. I have things that I'm working on for you guys. So tonight.
Okay. We let you get your shit off now. Come on now. All right. All right, let's see what the chat talk about, man. He said, classic, most definitely a villain. I said, man, I'm nice. He said, shit. Miles Pastor said she could have done this in a video in sign language. He said she could have done this video in sign language. Why you say that, Miles? Why you say that, man? But yeah, it's important, man. Let's talk about the pros of the villain era, though, because there's definitely, right, I talked about the cons of it. She talked about the execution of it and the why behind it. But here's some of the pros, right? So unapologetic focus. You stop watering down your ambition to make others comfortable. Your time, energy, and resources flow into your vision without hesitation. That's very important, without hesitation. Number 2, clarity of boundaries. No more blurred lines. A villain era helps you establish firm boundaries and teach people how to engage with you. Number 3, rapid growth. By pulling energy away from distractions, draining relationships, and societal expectations, you accelerate your progress. Number 4, self-respect and power. Moving with unapologetic conviction boosts confidence. People begin to respect you because you respect yourself. Number 5, detachment from approval. You learn that validation is optional, not oxygen. That mindset liberates you from being controlled by the crowd. And that's why I tell people a lot of times, like, you know, alpha personality types, like men who claim to be alphas or that we would identify as alphas. Oftentimes, those guys can be alphas because they don't mind being a little bit of an asshole or very much of an asshole. You know what I mean? For lack of clean diction. Yeah, you know, they're all right with it. They all right with somebody saying like, geez, that guy's a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? But look, while you doing that, you ain't gonna try him though. At the same time, simultaneously, while you are onlooker of somebody being assertive, and you like, geez, you know, guy's a bit of a dick, but you not gonna try him though. You see what I'm saying? He got your respect at the same damn time. He said them fingernails. Miles don't like the fingernails, man. Miles, what you want your women to have, that French tip, bro? You want to have that French tip? But yeah, man, I think that there's a lot of pros to it. And then again, there is some fallout. Like one of the things that said that you could end up creating unnecessary enemies, you know what I mean? Or tarnishing, scarring relationships and things like that. But the shit, y'all go check out my code language on comes with the game. Some shit come with the game. You know what I mean? On the road to ascension, and that's what the question of the day is going to cover. It's going to tie into this. But on the road to ascension, it's the road less traveled involves the reason why the road less traveled is the road less traveled is because it involves some terrain. It involves some obstacles and some difficulties that the vast majority of people don't want to deal with, especially when they know in advance that it's on the road. You don't know where it's at on the road, but you know it's on the road. So when you know what the road less traveled encompasses, it's why most people don't choose that route. So when you're a person that's on the road less traveled and you get to these obstacles or you get to this terrain that you have to get past or you get through this storm, get to this storm that you have to get through, right? The people who took the easy road or the normal road, let's just call it the normal road, the people who took the normal road, they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand why they on their normal road traveling, 10 over the speed limit, la-da-da-da-da, your ass up on the road less traveled, driving a fucking go-kart through a mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? And they're not going to get it. Like, because you guess what they're going to say? When you try to talk to them, they're going to say some shit like, in a roundabout way, why don't you just get off that road and come down here with us? It's smooth. And it's like, ain't nobody trying to be down there with your normal ass. So then what ends up happening is these people end up parting ways. A lot of people who are black sheeps, they have relationships that have come and that have gone. That's just the reality. Most black sheeps that's going to have lifelong friendships is going to be with other black sheeps. Y'all let me know if y'all got a different perspective. Classic. If you are not normal, your lifelong homies ain't going to be normal either. You're not going to be a black sheep, a road less traveled type of person, a chosen one, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be one of them and be best friends. Michael Jackson was never going to stay best friends with that mouse forever. It wasn't going to work. I hope y'all picking up on the analogies. Tez, what up? 333. What up, Tez?
I'm only going to do this once.
Yeah. Let's see what we got, chat. But yeah, the villain era, it's got a lot of pros and cons, a lot of pitfalls, but it's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, and we'll move off of the villain era, go to the question of the day because it intertwines. But you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? What are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? I was talking to one of my homies yesterday, and I was in my full-blown motivational speech bag. And, I was just saying that most people can tell you their desires, right? If you just ask them, hey, you don't have to think, there's a genie and you got 10 wishes. Like, what are all your desires? What is everything you would wish for, right? Most people could tell you their desires. But when you tell them everything they're going to have to do and go through to achieve it, they'll tell your ass, never mind. I'm straight. So what are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? And greatness is subjective, right? Whatever greatness looks like to you, but what are you willing to sacrifice to actually achieve it? Actually to have a prime that you've lived in. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice a lack of discipline? Are you willing to sacrifice? Because lack of discipline comes with a lot of comfort, a lot of convenience. Being an undisciplined person, very comfortable, very convenient, right? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give up some of that comfort to lock in on some shit? What are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? That's the question of the day. Souls of Thought said, you cooking. Appreciate it, Souls. The Tez Down said, not much, just relaxing and watching the codes. For sure. I caught the Tez Down today too, bro. I was just curating the show. That's why I wasn't active in the chat, but I caught you. Sacrifice nothing but put aside anything that I need to. What's the difference, souls? What's the difference between sacrificing something and putting it to the side? Because putting it to the side could be a sacrifice, right? Let's talk about it. The Tears Down said you have to sacrifice your comfort. Soft Rain said they don't want to go on the journey to get there because it's not instant. You think that's the main reason? Most people want instant gratification. I think that's one of the reasons. I totally agree that it's one of the reasons, but I think there's more that are on the same level. So like a lot of people don't want to go on a journey because it's not instant. I think also right there next to it, 1A and 1B. I think also a lot of people don't want to take the journey because it's hard. Oftentimes when you talk about doing something that somebody is declining to do, it's because of level of difficulty. Like with me, I never looked at like, I've always looked at what I want and what do I need to do to get there. I never looked at, oh, it's going to be tough. Anything worth having is tough. So something being tough, that just come with the territory. I tell you what, living life without it or living life on some woulda, coulda, shoulda shit, that's just as hard, in my opinion, right? So you just got to choose what type of tough you want. But I agree with you, Soft Rain. I think that's one of the reasons for sure. But I think right there next to it is just level of difficulty. People ain't signing up for stuff that they know is hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like I post my little workout clips and stuff like that. You'd be shocked how many people like ask me like, hey, where you be working out at? I want to come, get us training session in with you. It look like y'all be, you know what I'm saying, working. Woo, this, that, and the third. Niggas don't be pulling up like that. You know what I'm saying? And then like the people that do pull up, you feel me? They find out this shit ain't just for Instagram. Niggas be throwing up in the garbage in real life. You know what I'm saying? In real life. So it's like, and then look, when they see how hard that work is, seldom do they continue to come back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just decline because they know it's going to be difficult, unfortunately. Souls of Thought said, to me, sacrifice most of the time amounts to not being able to sustain. I put things aside, staff them back accordingly to my level of discipline. Interesting. I think that's applicable depending on what you're talking about. I don't know if that works with everything. If the road is straight and freshly paved, they'll do it. But if it's got a bunch of potholes, hills, cliffs, and dips, they don't want to go. 100%. Exactly what I thank you for breaking that down for me so eloquently, Soft Rain. Souls of Thought said, when you research Atomic Habits, a lot of people sacrifice because they can't balance. Yeah, you know what? I think that's reasonable. But you know what though, too? I don't know if balancing is the best way. Hear me out. Let's say either way, you're going to get to your goal. But if you go full-blown imbalance and crash out, you cut the time down to a third. It's still not going to be quick. Still going to take time. But you cut the time down by a third. Whereas if you take the balanced approach and you try to keep a little bit of this over here and a little bit of that, and you juggle it and you do it well and you're efficient with it, but you're not going to get to the end goal until 15 years instead of 5. So I think balance has its pros and cons. Is that fair? So I'm not even disagreeing with you. I think that people sacrifice because either they can't balance or they just don't see balance as the most efficient way. They don't want to balance. Mal said the wilderness is a part of life. You will be challenged 100%. That's what I say. Life going to be hard either way. Like, it's crazy. Like, I was in physical therapy after tearing my knee, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm finishing up, building my strength up myself. But I was in physical therapy after tearing my knee. And there was so many people that was in there who were completely, out of shape and like, older and stuff like that. And they in there just as fucked up as I am, but they hurt themselves cleaning the flow. You know what I'm saying? Reaching for something high, standing up from sitting down, dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they asked me what I was doing. Shit, I was hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hooping. Like, how you get hurt? Hooping. Like, oh, you gotta sit down somewhere. We getting old. No, you getting old. I'm finna get right back to it. Huh. Cause what I learned is you gonna get hurt either way. Your story just not gonna be as glorious. I just got done performing at a stadium I was jumping up and down on stage. My cousin hit me like, cuz, you know your knee ain't all the way back, cuz you on stage going crazy. I was nervous watching the whole time. That's what he said. I said, shit. He was like, but I know, I know you was like, shit. If I'm gonna fuck it. If I'm gonna fuck my knee up, I'm gonna fuck my knee up doing, yeah. If I'm gonna tear my knee back up, let it be while I'm doing something glorious.
Classic.
I don't wanna. If I end up back in physical therapy, let my story be raw. When they say, "Oh, what were you doing when you hurt yourself?" I was rocking out for 2,000. No, I ain't trying to be in physical therapy. They talk about what you was doing. Shit, I was sitting down and I stood up. I don't want to have that story, gang.
Classic.
No, I was stage diving. Yeah. Oh, you gotta calm down. Yeah, I know. I gotta learn how to chill. I'm tweaking. You know what I'm saying? So as a thought said, think about being a father. You sacrifice time with your children to achieve a goal quicker to only lose your child. Just an example. Okay, I see what you're saying. But a lot of men will say that's a necessary sacrifice, souls. So I mean, it ain't no right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's choices. It's choices. I think that's what we both saying. It's choices. I do agree. We are both on agreeable paths. Yeah, for sure. The tears down said no pain, no gain, right? For sure. Uncle Plug TV said for sure. Yeah, G, let my story be glorious. Hey, man. What you willing to sacrifice for greatness, man? It's just different mindsets. You know what I mean? Like everything, it do boil down to that. I like Souls adding that nuance to the conversation because it really do boil down to decisions and preferences and your level of understanding within self and all of those things. Because, you know, some people are willing to sacrifice more and maybe that does propel them faster and maybe they do stay longer because they willing to give up more different amenities of life, right? Maybe they get to where they going faster than you and they stay longer than you, and because they were willing to not have no friends, not have no family, not have no, you get what I'm saying? Some shit you weren't willing to do. So maybe you get there a little later and you stay a little less time, but you still have your run. But at the end of the day, you got your relationships, you got this, you got that. You know what I mean? So it's all just choices. But that's what the question of the day is about. What are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? What you willing to do? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if I answer this, y'all don't want my answer. Y'all don't want my answer. You know? Shit. I'm gonna be real with you. My answer to this would be everything but my integrity. For greatness, sacrifice everything but my integrity. Anything else, shit. If it gotta go, shit, it gotta go. But my integrity, it encompasses certain things. So it's a lot of things on that list, right, that are encompassed by my integrity. Like, obviously, I'm not sacrificing family members and shit like we, you know, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment, like we see, you know, people in certain industries do. They sacrifice family members and friends and all type of stuff, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. I wouldn't do that. That compromises my integrity. You know what I'm saying? But I would sacrifice anything other than my integrity for sure. So, yeah, like if it's somebody who, you know, needs to get from around me on a day-to-day basis so I can go win because they energy holding me back or they mindset is counterproductive or whatever the case may be, we're going to have to adjust that relationship. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Or do away with it altogether. That shit can go. You know what I'm saying? Won't sacrifice two things. My black balls, integrity, fortitude, duty. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? It's some people that sacrificing their integrity in some horrific ways. You know what I mean? For what is so-called greatness. I'm not doing that. He said, you miss out not taking the tougher path. I regret not being a father. You still got time, Miles. Shit, we men, we can get it done. We can get it done all the way till we go.
Classic.
I know you still got some ammo, dog. You still got some ammo left. Go ahead and shoot, Miles.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Go ahead and shoot, bro. Tristan said, that resonates with my end goal, working out and getting healthy. The sacrifice will help you determine necessity and drop bad habits. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with sacrifice and comfort in general. Just being comfortable in all ways, feeling comfortable. A lot of people want to feel good every day. I want to, I want to feel like going to my job. I want to feel like talking to I want to feel like the most productive people don't even move off their feelings. They move off checklists. Checklist. Got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that. How I feel about it, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't even secondary. It's not even on the list. Tears down. You could be a father and still sacrifice, but you won't be comfortable that often, and that's just the facts, Jack. I feel that. Souls of Thought said it's not worth the ammo, Miles. Save the clip. Hey, Miles. Miles said he regretted. Let that man shoot. Let the ammo go, Miles.
Classic.
Call her, Miles. Call her. You know who her is. Call her, man. Call her, dog.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Yeah. But that's the question of the day. Yes, Lord. What do you say? Miles said, I aim to miss my target at this age. Oh, come on, Miles. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Bro, hey, I feel you though, brother. It's all, hey, I ain't gonna influence you into nothing crazy, man. If you feel like it's past the time, it's past the time, dog. I feel you, man. But if you ever wake up like,
yeah, I got time, cuz.
Give her a call, man. Give her a call. Save her Private Miles. Hey. All right, y'all. Let's get into this code language. Code language on the day is willpower. Like we always do with the code language conversation, we're going to look up the overview of the terminology and go from there. All right, so willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptations and impulses to achieve long-term goals. Psychologists sometimes refer to it as self-control or self-discipline and connect it to better outcomes in many areas of life, including academic achievements, relationships, and health. However, the exact nature of willpower is a subject of ongoing debate among researchers. All right, so I'm going to read that one more time. Willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptations and impulses to achieve long-term goals. Psychologists sometimes refer to it as a self-control or self-discipline and connect it to better outcomes in many areas of life, including academic achievement, relationships, and health. However, the exact nature of willpower is a subject of ongoing debate among researchers, okay? And then it says key psychological theories, ego depletion. Originally popularized psychologist Roy Baumeister. This theory suggests that willpower is a limited mental resource similar to a muscle that gets tired with overuse. Resisting one temptation or making a difficult decision can deplete this resource, making it harder to exert self-control in subsequent, even unrelated situations. Recent research has questioned the scale of ego depletion, but most studies still confirm that significant mental effort can lead to fatigue. Okay, so this person's ideology kind of says that willpower can run out or needs to be recharged, so to speak. And in the times where it's low or exhausted, you're the most vulnerable, is what I'm getting from that. All right. The process model. An alternative theory proposes that what looks like a lack of willpower is actually a shift in motivation. In this view, a person's priorities change as they become tired or stressed. The brain automatically moves attention away from a difficult have to task toward or a more rewarding want to task, right? So they move away from have to task and move more towards want to task. So they're saying that willpower doesn't get depleted, but yet gets, I guess, they're saying it doesn't necessarily get depleted, but I guess that it actually, it gets put to the side when there's shifts in motivation, and it makes you want to do things that are more leisure versus necessary, I guess is what I'm getting from that one. And then the last one, the hot and cold system, developed by Walter Mischel of the famous marshmallow test. This framework describes two competing systems in the brain. The cool system is the rational and cognitive, focused on long-term goals. The hot system is impulsive and emotional, focused on immediate gratification. Willpower is the ability to use the cold system to override the hot one. I like that. I like that. All right. I know that was a lot, y'all. I hope y'all kept up with it. He said, see willpower over sacrifice. Classic be on point with these topics. Thanks, Souls. I appreciate that, brother. Kind words. Souls of Thought said, sacrifice can run out. We call it bad decisions over time. I hear that. I hear that. He said, we call sacrifice bad decisions over time. But yeah, willpower is important, man. I think out of those three theories that we read, I think I'm more inclined to feel like it's closer to the third one, in my opinion, like the hot and cold system. You know, your willpower being focused on long-term goals, using your cold system to override the hot system. You know what I mean? I think I'm more inclined and aligned with that belief system of how willpower truly does work. I don't think that willpower gets depleted, right? Because in my opinion, depleting willpower is almost like an oxymoron, in my opinion, because it's like my willpower is like my ability to push through. So if it runs out, then how, you know, I don't know if it makes sense all the way. It's not registering for me. But yeah, I think it's closer to the hot and cold system, because I know if you operate inside of your emotions, it can have an impact on the way you're able to exhibit your willpower. You know what I mean? So as the thought said, you choose balance. Yeah. Yup. Yeah. For sure. For sure. For sure. Because Lord knows. Yeah. Yeah. You saying I choose balance, or you just saying in general, one chooses balance? Yeah. Because me, I definitely be trying to choose balance. I think for me at this point, most of my willpower is towards building out the final steps of the life that I see for myself, as far as like putting shit on cruise control, because I ain't really that far away, to be honest. Like I told y'all, I don't desire much and I don't require much. So I'm almost at the point where I'm finna throw shit on cruise control. Just a few more little years away. But I think most of my willpower is being used in those avenues, as far as like choosing balance and all of that. Temperament wise, yeah, respect and peace are probably like the two most important things for me. Respect and peace. If it's interfering with my peace, it could go. If it's disrespectful, if it's a woman, it could go. If it's a dude, we could squabble. You know what I'm saying? Or you could just move around. Or we could squabble.
Classic.
Allegedly for content creation purposes and entertainment. But yeah. I mean, shit. But yeah, willpower, man, is very important to it's just very important to fortify it, to build it up. That's the greater discussion about this, and I would love to hear what the chat has to say. Do you think willpower is something that can be acquired? Souls of Thought said, LOL, them 16s. Yep, you know I'm gonna toss a pair of 16s to you. All right, listen, I see talking don't work with you, dog. Put these on. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and get situated. Somebody cut the timer on. Straight up. Let's go ahead and get situated. Go ahead, put these 16s on, big dog. This won't be long. But yeah, man. Is willpower something that you can acquire? Can willpower be if you are a person who at some point in life, like, does trauma breed willpower? Right? Yeah, oftentimes we hear people talk about and refer to how they were driven by things they went through and their circumstances growing up and this, that, and the third, and that drove them, you know, gave essentially fortified their willpower, if you will. Is willpower something that can be gained? Can it be created or destroyed? Let's talk about it from that lens. Miles said, I'm old school, successfully achieve short-term goals, which would help achieve the long-term goal. That's the way. That's still the way. That's gonna work for a million more years, Miles. You cooking. That's gonna work for a million more years.
Classic.
Straight up. You know, 100 short-term goals to get to that main long-term one. You just keep chipping away. Hit a goal, 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 hit a goal. By the time you look up, you at the end of the pool. You just swam across. For sure, for sure. But I kind of want to see if we get a response to that question, though. Can willpower be created or destroyed? Can you fortify willpower? Can you build it up? Is it something that you just born with? So as a thought said, I think it's a survival mechanism. With that being said, your breaking point is closer than it appears. You think willpower is a survival mechanism and your breaking point is closer than it appears? That's some powerful shit to think about. Because imagine feeling like you got enough will to push yourself through whatever it is you go through. And you realize in the midst of the fire that this time you're going to burn the fuck up.
Classic.
Hey, Souls, you cooking too, bro. You cooking too, bro. You cooking too. We gonna, yeah, you cooking too. Ted said it's called tenacity, and yes, it is. So you think that you can build up willpower. I think it's one of those things that if I had a debate, if it was a debate discussion and we were doing like a debate team type thing, I think it's one of those things I'd have a good time discussing on either side. I think I could talk about that from both lenses. We will have to do a show on it. Yeah, we got to. Hey, man, I want to say something, Tez. I saw you react to my River TV video earlier, too. Shout out to River. Shout out to River
Classic.
TV. You know, just for no reason. And I want to say, man, I'm grateful when my content breeds other content. And I like when y'all content gives me content. I appreciate y'all, man.
Classic.
I really do. You know, some real, you know, some real heartwarming shit. Miles Bachelor said, willpower is 100% internal. Motivation is different. Motivation is like a dopamine hit to me. It's so short term. The Tears Down said, shout out to River. Not too many exclamation marks, my boy.
Classic.
Don't get too excited. Souls the Thought said tenacity is a little bit behind willpower. Ooh, okay. So you think willpower is tenacity's big cousin? I can see that. Tez, we will have to all discuss. Let's do a men's minute. Let's do a men's minute at the end of this week. Let's get on a text or something or whatever the case may be. Let's do a men's minute. We ain't done one in a second anyway. We overdue. Let's do a men's minute. Let's put that on the docket. Let's do it. So Soul seemed to be a good quarterback. I'm sure he'll put it together. Souls be quarterback and shit.
Classic.
But yeah, man, that's it on the code language for today. Willpower. All right, so we're in the chat Q&A now. Talk to me. Y'all just talk to me. We could just free flow now. But he said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so we'll do a men's minute. Who else y'all want to get on there? Y'all want me to see if I can get Ye, get the young bull, we could bring a fresh face in. He said, no Lamar. I'm off Friday night. Okay, bet. I could do Friday. Soft Rain said, willpower and your relationship with a higher being go hand in hand. You think so, Soft Rain? I'm just trying to think on it for a second before I decide whether or not I really agree or disagree. Because, you know, I like to choose a side. You know, Softy be trying to be perfect in the chat, so she be straddling the fence.
Classic.
I'm trying to see if I agree or disagree with this. I want to choose a side. Willpower and your relationship with the higher being go hand in hand. Because it's like I agree, but I could think of so many reasons why I could disagree. Got me conflicted. Souls the Thought said, Tristan, you know she first lady, LOL. Yeah, hey, I disagree. Souls the Thought picked the side. He picked the side. Hey, quick.
Sometimes you just gotta crash on out.
He picked the side quick. He said, I disagree. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. She said, the Tears Down said, I love to revisit that segment on the fact that her going to these shows was cheating. Who you talking about, Tez? Who you talking about, Tez? You would love to revisit that segment on the fact that her going to these shows was cheating. Who was cheating? And who is she? You talking about? Who you talking about? I got 5 more minutes for chat Q&A, chat. I got to go get on that foam roller, chat. I got to go get on that foam roller. Legs is tight, chat. Let me see. The Tez down said, it doesn't take the higher power, in my opinion. You have a will regardless. Okay. Ted said the classic codes with Usher and River. Oh, yeah. You had to revisit that. That was a good one to revisit. I thought that was one of my better pieces of content, honestly. I thought I was cooking that day. I can agree. A higher being is more conscious. Wait. I can agree. A higher being is more conscious. We make conscious decisions. Oh, no, it's my consequence. Am I tweaking? I can't read today, chap? On this bitch sounding illiterate. Somebody hold me accountable. I can agree. A higher being is my consequence. We make conscious decisions. I feel that. I'm on this bitch tweaking today, huh? That's the second time something got up on me today. I need some motherfucking ashwagandha or something. Focus, class. But yeah, man. Hey, don't say I ain't got no sense of humor. I just roasted myself for 30 seconds straight. I appreciate y'all not joining in, though.
Classic.
I got the best chat. It is 444. 444. The numerology is heavy. The numerology is heavy. What we talking about, chat? What we talking about? Chat Q&A. Souls of Thought said, you have will before you find God. Touche. Whatever is within you is your will. What up? Shout out to Lisa in the chat. What up? The chat is all here. So check it out. So I'm seeing the people who disagree with Soft Rain's initial statement about your connection to the higher, your willpower and your relationship with the higher being go hand in hand. Here's the thing. It can, though. Like, it can. I know some people that's like super hallelujah with it. And like the fact that they like over Jesused out on like a super high level, it be keeping them in line. So I see where she coming from. But then I also understand that like it's not necessary. Like you could just be born with a lot of will. Like some people just naturally like super competitive. I'm not gonna let you win, fam. I will tear my rotator cuff in this push-up contest before you win. You know what I mean? So it's like like I said, it's one of them things where if I had a debate, I feel like I could debate from both sides and put up a fight. The Tez Down said, is it healthy to have a celebrity crush when you're in a relationship? Is it healthy to have a celebrity crush when you're in a relationship? Great question. Mama V, what up?
Classic.
Welcome to the party. Souls of Thought said Lisa moves silent like a G in lasagna. Yeah, look, she probably been posted up for an hour in this joint.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Miles Bastard said the most high is my conscience. Yeah, I feel you. What's your consequence? Yeah. Hey, look, I understand, Miles. Miles, we got to get you on the men's minute, man. What's your availability, Miles? You finna stop ducking the panels, man. Enough is enough, Miles. Enough is enough. So 333 if y'all want Miles Bachelor on the panel. 333 if y'all need Tristan on the panel. 333 if y'all need Joe Jet on the panel.
Today I got time, cuz.
Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Yeah, she said whatever is within you is your will. So it's kind of like you saying you born with the amount of will that you're gonna have. So Lisa, would it be safe to say you saying people can't build up their will? Like you can't get more willpower. You either just a super willful motherfucker or you ain't. He said you have will before you find God. Yeah. Lisa said, LOL, driving. Stay safe. Stay safe. He said most people look up when making a decision. Think about it. Hey, Miles, you know I'm gonna agree with you. You cooking. You know I'm gonna agree with you. How many times I done told y'all the biggest trick they gave y'all was looking up instead of in. They taught y'all niggas to kneel down and look up for answers. When the vast majority of the time, the answer is in. It's in. It's not up. But hey, who am I? I'm just classic with the classic code.
Classic.
Who am I? You know what I'm saying? 333. Yup. Mal said, I'm free now in the whip. My boy. Give us free.
Classic.
Well, man said, I done punched out. I'm off the plantation. I think that it could become deeper. Okay, so you think somebody can deepen their will. So they're born with some will, but it can be deepened. I think so too. Experiences in life and stuff like that, you know, definitely can give you a fire that burns inside that you can tap into whenever you need a little more. When you need a little more. Souls of Thought said most individuals don't even seek God first. It's their will to succeed. I believe in God, but understand both sides. I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. You wasn't coming off atheist or nothing, bro. You definitely weren't. But yeah, it seemed like this definitely something we got to revisit because I brought this up and it lit a fire in the chat the whole time. Yeah. We're going to tap back in for sure. But shoot, that's it for chat Q&A, chat. You know what I'm saying? We did a solid hour 5, hour 10, whatever it's going to be. Shout out to everybody that's still fighting in their fantasy football leagues. You know what I'm saying? I'm still fighting. I'm in 2 dog fights tonight to try to get situated. I'm in 3 leagues. I went 3-0 2 weeks in a row. I'm trying to go 3-0 again. But I'm talking about I'm ice skating uphill, Jack. And I might go to I'm looking at 2-1. But we gonna pray for Tyreek to have a big day. Shout out to everybody in the chat, 333 Fantasy League too. I see everybody taking shit to war. I see a lot of people taking shit to war. Y'all getting better with y'all pickups out of the waivers. And I see people making a lot of not a lot, but I see people making trades and making moves, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, 333 Fantasy Football League. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a very competitive season down the stretch. It's been competitive so far. Souls of Thought said, man, these injuries killing the league. Listen, we all dealing with them, though. You right, but we all dealing with them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a league I'm doing well in, and I got CD Lamb and Malik Neighbors with my first 2 picks. I'm hurting for certain, boy. But hey, we shall overcome. Free agency, here I come. Waivers.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Waivers. Miles said, my team cooking. Hey, Souls of Thought said, definitely 3-1. I do not trade. Are you going to put your record up in the air like that, dog? I'm 3-1 too with you. Hey, Souls, who gave you that 1, Souls?
Classic.
Souls. Hey, Souls, you 3-1. Where you get that 1 from, King?
I'm only going to do this once.
Came across that walk down. Yeah, I had to go get him on a Monday night. Had to walk him down. Yeah. No allows in the 200 type shit. Yeah. Mortal Kombat Scorpion shit. Get over here. Yeah. He says, stop the proposals. I don't make trades. Hey, Souls made an announcement. PSA, stop sending me trades. I ain't doing no business with you. Someone used their willpower to keep me undefeated. Hey, come on, Ted.
Classic.
Hey, Tez, I see you week 6, buddy. Keep that 0. I want to take it. Keep that 0, folks. I see you week 6, buddy. It's on like Dom Perignon, Grey Poupon, and hot butter popcorn, Jack. He said, Connor got hurt. Yeah. Who got Trey Benson, though?
Classic.
Mm-hmm. Miles Bachelor said, I watched one team and the bums they playing. Who you talking about, the Bears? I hope not. The Tears Down said, my white boys were terrible, and I still won. See? That's why you got to make it about race, dog. Why you got to make it about
I'm
race?
only going to do this once. International.
Why you don't do that, bro? This is a worldwide broadcast. They love me in Europe. They love me in Europe. They love me in the UAE. They love me in the Philippines. They love me, dog. This is a worldwide broadcast. Don't do that, Tess. Why you got to make it about race, dog? But yeah, man. It's the classic codes. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications. Make sure you like this video if you have not already. Exit out the chat. Hit the like button. Come on back. But yeah, man, make sure you do those things for me. He said, because they're mine. LOL, I own them this time. Hey, boy, violation.
Classic.
Hey, can you say that? Can he say that? Where are the white people? Are there any white people in this chat today? He can't say this, right? This got to be wrong. He's talking about, I own them this time. That boy a fool. Hey, the villain era. The villain era. Hey, man, it's been a hell of a show, man. Blitzburg. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh. I forgot you was a Pittsburgh fan. Y'all all right though. You seen my boys fight to that tie last night? My Cowboys fought to that 40-40 tie. On God. Vegas had to get their money. Can't nobody win. Can't nobody win. Let's get paid.
Classic.
Oh God. Everybody who bet the under on anything took an L. Nigga, that shit was a 40-40. You took the under on anything, you took an L. Said that was a good game. Yeah, the Cowboys gonna fight. Catch y'all later. All for sure. But yeah, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm about to be gone. It's been a great stream. I'll see y'all first thing tomorrow. I got something premiering tonight. Make sure you tap in with that premiere tonight. And then 8:15, y'all should catch No Middleman panel at 8:15 p.m. No Middleman panel with Souls of Thought conversation with Soft Rain and Uncle Plug TV. If you didn't catch the live stream this morning, please slide to the Tez Down, TEZDOWN. Slide to the Tez Down and tap in with him. Rewatch his live stream. If you're catching this on the rewatch, make sure you tap in tonight with at 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time with Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, and Conversation with Soft Rain. It should be streaming from any of those 3 channels. Subscribe to all 3 so you can make sure you don't miss it. For sure. But if y'all don't do nothing else for me, make sure y'all stick to the codes. We got another classic. Yeah.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.